I'm Maria, and this is my journal all about knitting. I do sometimes crochet or do other crafts, but mainly I knit because that is what I love to do. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I have on my needles, what's come off my needles, and yeah, a little bit dream knitting at the end as well. So first I'm going to talk about this. So I got an inflammation in my hand and it's really hurting. So I put a little bit of tape just to help me relax and not overstrain it. It just like offers like a small support. So that's why I have the tape on my arm. And I don't even know what I got it from. I don't think it's knitting, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to relax it for a little bit. And what I'm wearing is a knitted t-shirt. It's called a Peacock tee, and it's made by a Danish designer called Lene Holme Samsø. And she is lenit.com, I think, where you can go get her patterns. And she's one of my favorite Danish designers. And this one is knitted in line by Sandnes Garn, which is a Norwegian commercial yarn. And it's a linen cotton blend, I think. I'll have to look that up, but I will put everything down below. And yeah, I'm gonna show you just a little bit here. I just love this pattern. I made this tee for Mia as well. Before it was a tee because she had it in like a top for kids, but I knitted it as a tee instead. But now she actually has a new book where there is a tee for kids in this pattern. So if you want to knit that, I will link her webpage down below and you can see where you can get those patterns. Yeah. So last time I showed you that I was knitting a sweater for my partner, like an Icelandic sweater, and I had to rip back down to the hem because I had the wrong gauge. But now I finally start knitting on it again, and look, I've come quite far. I only need about 7 centimeters. I probably could get that done later today. We'll have to see by my hand and what if I have time to it. But yeah, it's just a little bit more, and then I can put the sleeves on and start the raglan decreases. So it won't be that long, and the sleeves are already knit, so those are finished. So yeah, not that far to go, and hopefully get that finished soon because the weather here in Portugal has also started to cool. The thermometer said like 12 degrees this morning, so that's quite cool for October. I feel like the last few years there's been warmer weather also in October, but yeah, we'll see. Will be nice with the cozy sweater for him when he's out working or outside in the evenings or in the mornings. So yeah. Other stuff that I've been knitting on is socks. So I usually knit a lot of socks, but I haven't had the sock mojo for a really long time. And what I always tell other people when they have lost their knitting mojo is to knit something. Even though it's small or big, just knit something. You will always get back to it. And I was like, I need to take my own advice. So I lost my sock knitting mojo, but then I thought, okay, to get back into it, I definitely need to knit socks. So I had some Novita yarn. Is it called Venla? I can't remember. I'll put it down in the down bar. But it's this yarn. I also have it in like a navy blue, but I really wanted something light so I could see the pattern because I wanted a lace pattern. And I tend to go back to the same patterns again and again if I like the pattern. And I really want a lace pattern that is easily memorized so that I can just knit on it without looking into the pattern. And I like that about these socks. So these socks are the Winter Rose socks by Helen Stewart. And I will link it down below. They're knitted top down. I don't really mind if it's top down or toe up. Usually I like toe up because I hate to cast on all of these stitches, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. And the chart for these are really simple. I think there's like, let me think, 5 repeats. Yeah, and once you've done it a couple of times, you can easily remember what to do. So I think this just flies off the needles. So I only had this sock, I just finished it yesterday. I haven't sewn in the ends or anything. So yeah. And then my youngest daughter, Mia, she's 3. She saw it and she's like, I want those socks. And the pattern's just for adults, but it's just easy to figure out how to do it for kids. So I started this yesterday and this is how far I've gotten. And I have 48 stitches on here, so it matches the pattern repeats. So yeah, hopefully I'll have this sock done, maybe later today, we'll see. Knitting socks for a 3-year-old size 27, it's not taking forever. And those socks are living in my elderflower bag, which I showed last time. And now it's just another pattern, like another project in here. I just tend to stick to the same bag and change the project in there. And in there I also have this one that's matching. I will show them together. And this one is a little test, project that I got from Susie from Elderflower Stitches, or I didn't get it, I bought it, but with a discount. And she wanted someone to test it, and I love it. It's very cute. I have my lykke needles in here. Lykke på dansk og lykke på norsk. And let's see if I put that in the right one. So I really want a pouch like this that's for the shorter needles. So if you know someone that makes them or sells them, let me know. I would really love where I could see the shorter needles, because that's what I tend to use. Because I have small hands. Well, yeah, that was that. That's all I have been knitting on since last time, but that sweater is like my want to finish object. But I thought I was going to show you a little bit of some UFOs. So UFOs are projects that has been waiting for a long time and not been knitting on. And I really want to get back to these because, first of all, this one that I'm about to show you, is something I would love to wear coming up this autumn. And that is my Birds of a Feather shawl. So this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and I will put her down below if you don't know her already. But this is an old pattern, and I have this pattern from the Lane magazine. And unfortunately, all my magazines are still left in Denmark, but I have a photo on my phone with the pattern. And the yarn that I'm knitting on, and look, it even has a little bird. So the yarn that I'm knitting with is Dandelion and Dogwood, which is Amy and her sister Jenny. And this is the color. And I can't remember the name of it, but I will put it down below. And a matching mohair. Just look at those together. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. Well, so I think that was a kit for the feather, Birds of a Feather shawl, but I can't remember at the moment. It's been a long time since I've knitted on this one, but it lives in a little stripy bag, which is just a bag from, I think, a Danish store called Sandnes Garn. I think some other countries have this store as well. But yeah, and excuse me, another one that I have been knitting on, and at the moment it's just like a resting UFO because I can't figure out if I want to rip it back or continue, because I feel there's too much fabric on the front of the sweater. But it's this one. So this is a sweater by Petiteknit called, now I can't remember. It's one of the men's sweaters, and it has that saddle shoulder, which I really enjoy and like. And the yarn that I'm knitting with is Nutiden, and I think it's called Dvala, and it's kind of like a green moss color, has a lot of specks of yellow and brown, and yeah, I just really love this color. And I put it into a big ball with 2 strands because I found it easier to knit when it's 2 strands instead of knitting out of the plate, which they usually come in big plates, because I keep like pulling it, and I don't want to pull it too much because it's an unspun yarn, which maybe a lot of people know, but I really love it. It's so soft, it's not prickling to me. I can use it next to skin. My husband thinks, or my partner thinks, it's nice to skin as well. And yeah, I'm debating whether or not to rip it back or yeah, keep knitting, because it has a little bit too much fabric here in the front. And maybe that's because I haven't knit the neck band yet, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Should I continue, or should I maybe knit the neckband and then see? I'm not quite sure. I already split for the sleeves, but I'm not sure to keep on going with it or rip it back. And ripping it back is probably going to be really hard with the unspun yarn, but if I need to do it, I will do it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been knitting on since last time. And I finished this little one. So I will grab him without taking down the lights. So I really like these. I'm gonna see if I can make it focus. Too close. Okay, sorry. He is going to my friend in Los Angeles, Patty. He will travel today, going all the way to the States. And my friend Patty, she is a lovely lady, and she has sent packages for me for Mia when she was born. And she asked me after the last journal that if I still had them, and I was like, yes, I do, and I will send you one. She's like, no, I want to support you. And then she went in my Etsy store and bought it. So thank you so much, Patty. That was very nice of you. And he's on his way to you later today. So yeah, that is what I've done and finished since last time. So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about dream knitting. So of course, here in Portugal, it's still cold in the winter, and I love to have cozy sweaters to, yeah, cozy up in. And I have this yarn, lovely yarn. Oh, I should put the label here. Handmade label. I have 4 skeins, and it's from Fibre. She's on Instagram and she's here on YouTube, and she has made her own yarn from her parents' sheep on the farm in Denmark. And this is a organic Garland and organic local wool. It's a 50-50 blend. So it's, I think it's 50% from her own, or from her parents' sheep, and 50 from the mill where she gets it spun. I think that's how they blend it. And it's a 2-ply, and this color is medium gray. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to knit with it. I want a sweater for myself, definitely, but I don't know which one. So if you have a pattern that you think will be really good with this yarn, let me know. It's 275 meters. I don't know what that's in yards, but it's quite similar, I think. And I love it. I really want to knit something, probably a sweater, maybe a cardigan, I don't know, for myself. And this one. So yeah, that's a little bit of the dream knitting with that yarn. And I have a big basket with yarn. Yummy, yummy yarn. So when I went to Norway this summer, I of course bought some yarn. And I'll try to put it in front of me and grab some of the skeins. Okay, there we are. Sorry. So this is Rauma Finull, which also is a Norwegian brand. It's very popular. And this is a quite rustic yarn, but I really enjoy it. I didn't used to like rustic yarns, but as I got more and more into knitting, I just love rustic yarns now. I used to only knit with merino and like really soft yarns, but now I'm tending more and more to find rustic yarns. So these two with another one that I don't have. Let me grab, I actually have a little piece of it. Let me grab it. Okay, I found it. Here. So, sorry. These three, well, this one I need to get more of because this is all I have left. But these will be an Esther sweater by Camilla Vel, which is also a Danish designer. And I'm shamelessly copying Mrs. Valgarin's. She's also here on YouTube and on Instagram, and I will put a link down below. She made an Esther sweater in similar colors to these. So she didn't use these colors, I think, with Rauma, but it's kind of similar colors, and I really love that t-shirt. And so I just need to get a little bit more of this. Hopefully, maybe my grandmother can bring me some. We'll have to see. And I can knit an Esther for myself. So that's a little bit of dream knitting and yarns with a plan that I love. So I have a huge stash of yarn in Denmark, but I used to buy yarn with no plans. I'm completely changed. I love to buy yarn now with a purpose. Like, I know what I want to knit with it, and usually that's what I knit, but sometimes it can change, but usually that's what I knit. So I have some more yarn in here. I will try to grab it. So, this is a Sunday yarn, and that's also from Sandnes, and this is the Petite collection, Petiteknit collection, and this is like a mossy green. I don't know the name of the color, but the color code is 9882. And actually I don't know what to knit with this, so but I know it's gonna be something for Mia, maybe a t-shirt or a cardigan or something. And I have enough for a little project for her. She's only 3, so maybe it will be hats or a little shawl or a t-shirt. I'm not 100% sure, but I will find something fun for her. She really looks good in that color because her eyes are dark green. And I think maybe I showed you last time, but if I didn't, this is also Sunday Petiteknit, and this is also Sunday. And the color code for this is 2511. And this is gonna be another hipster hat from Petiteknit. So Mia is gonna have one and Nova's gonna have one. So I showed one last time. I think that was Mia's, but they're the same size. So yeah, that's gonna be a hat for them. And Bianca, my oldest, she's gonna get a hat too, but I have to go and look at the yarn with her so she can choose her color herself, because she's a little bit more picky. So Sandnes Garn came out with a new yarn, what do you call? Well, a new one anyways. It's called Gynt. And then the sweater I'm knitting for my husband, this one is knitted in the normal Gynt, which is a really thick rustic yarn, 100% Norwegian wool, and now they made it into a thinner yarn. And this I have in these colors. Can you see that? So 2 greens, 2 light beigey colors, and another darker brown beigey color. So this one, 2 of this one, this one, like a light mossy green, and like a more dark, darker green. So those are going to go on my loom, because Anna Sjösvard and Mrs. Wahlgren, 2 Swedish Instagrammers that I follow, they both have YouTube and of course Instagram. They have inspired me to get a loom and to make a big scarf. And I tried it when I first got it just after Christmas, and I love doing it. So I will film when I warp my loom and start to use these and make a big scarf with that. I love to loom, so I'm excited to have that on. Warping takes a long time, I think, but once you are warped and ready to go, it doesn't take loads of time to make the scarf. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Yeah. So I think that's all for today. Is it? Oh, maybe not. I have a little bit more. A girl on Instagram, which I didn't used to follow, she's Danish. She's called Christina. She on Instagram, I'm looking on my phone, I'm sorry. She is Fibre eller Garland, and she's knitted a beautiful, beautiful like shawlette, and I will show it here. Let me see. And I really think this is so cute. I really want to knit this as well. I probably have some yarn for it. So I will link down below who this designer is. I can't remember at the moment. And also a link to Christina's podcast and Instagram, because she's really lovely. She does a lot of YouTube videos where she colors yarn. So if you like that kind of stuff, I will definitely say go over there. And she's a knitting nerd like myself, so that I really enjoy. And yeah, go check her out. So I think that's all from me for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to help me, then please click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you like my content. I will definitely bring up more, and I hope to see you next time. And until then, I hope you enjoy the lovely autumn weather and your knitting or your crafting or your crocheting or whatever you are doing. And I will see you. Okay, bye.